So this next story is ironic, funny, and sad at the same time. A Texas teacher was fired for trying to report undocumented students to the President of the United States. Um, Before I read her tweets, let me read the quote from NBC News to give you the background. Quote, the Fort Worth Independent School District unanimously voted 8-0 to terminate the employment of Georgia Clark at a special meeting Tuesday. Clark, an English teacher at Carter Riverside High School, tweeted that the school she worked for had been taken over by illegal students from Mexico, that Trump was elected on the promise that a wall would be built to protect our borders, and tweeted multiple statements referencing illegals. But it gets better or worse, depending on how you view this story. She said, quote, she was suspended, or the article rather said, quote, she was suspended in 2013 after she allegedly referred to a group of students as Little Mexico and another student as white bread. Clark is also under investigation for a complaint that she allegedly told a student to, quote, show me your papers, you are illegal, after the student asked permission to go to the bathroom. According to the district documents, Clark told an investigator she thought the tweets were a direct message to President Trump and didn't know they were public. That's the part that is so delicious. The fact that she, so smart with her bigotry, that she didn't even know how to use the system that ended up leading to her firing. Now, you could quibble over whether or not she should have lost her job over this, over the tweets. But you can't really quibble over whether or not she should have been in the classroom in the first place. Like, looking at her history, there's really no reason that this type of person should be in a classroom anywhere in this country. Not only because of her bigotry, but also because of her level of ignorance. I mean, there's a level of ignorance here that really screams out, I'm not qualified to teach anybody. But she found out the hard way. I want to pull up the tweets on your screen so that you can see what she said. It's a series of tweets that she sent, clearly identifying herself, trying earnestly to report the quote unquote undocumented students. Then it didn't really work out too well for her. This is what she said on Twitter back in May. She said, quote, Mr. President, Fort Worth Independent School District is loaded with illegal students from Mexico. Carter Riverside High School has been taken over by them. Drug dealers are on our campus and nothing was done to them when drug dogs found the evidence. Donald Trump, could you please remind the Democrats that a majority of the people elected you? No, they didn't, but I digress. Could you please remind the Democrats that a majority of the people elected you on the promise that a wall would be built to protect our borders? Just how many of us voted for you? Shouldn't we, the people, count for something? I'm sorry, Pat, cut back to me. I love how she's like really making an earnest plea here. I don't even know if the rest of the tweets are worth reading. I just want to pause and talk about how genuine this woman is with her bigotry. Like that last line. Oh, no, actually, you do have to show these tweets. I'm sorry. It gets better. She said in that last line, shouldn't we, the people, count for something? And then the next tweet is, my prayers were answered. Drain that swamp, and the sooner, the better. I mean, folks, I don't like to revel in people's destruction, but man, the irony, it is just, how are you so genuine about being, watch my mouth, I'm on David's show, a jerk, a bigot, like from the depths of her heart, she really is pouring out to what she thought was a direct message to the president, but public on Twitter. She's genuinely pouring out her bigotry. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so dramatic, but that's really something. It reminds me of the story. I don't know if it's been covered. Maybe I should cover it, or I'll just mention it here. The story of the little 7-year-old boy in Texas who raised $22,000 to help Donald Trump build the wall. And he raised it by selling hot chocolate in Texas in June. And somebody tweeted on Twitter, they said, you've got to be one hell of a racist to buy hot chocolate in June in Texas. I mean, I'm laughing, but we should be crying, because look at the level of commitment that these morons have to their bigotry. She's so committed, and she was genuine and so committed. But the story of the hot chocolate is really about the commitment, where you're willing to go out there and drink hot chocolate in 100-degree weather in Texas. These people are so dedicated to their bigotry, and I really drive that point home, because there's no working with them, man. There's no reaching across the aisle to them. I know. I'm not sure where David stands on that, so I can't really say whether David thinks we should reach across the aisle or not. Maybe I'll go watch some of his videos. But for me in my house, when somebody is so dedicated to their bigotry that they're willing to drink hot chocolate in Texas at 100-degree weather to help build the wall, there's really no reasoning with them. There's no trying to explain something and win them over. It just becomes an exercise in futility. In my best estimation. So this woman was fired. I'm sorry for laughing so much at her for being fired. Not so much at her for being fired, but because of the sincerity of her bigotry. I've never seen, it's like as hard as we fight, as genuine as we fight to help liberate people and help set them free and help get the boot of the oppressor off their neck, as hard as we fight for that, and as dedicated as we are to that, and as genuine as we are about that, they're equally as genuine about their bigotry towards those people.